over here, Tony. Thanks for taking the time to join us. And thanks for that green report out of your area of Berry County. I think we got a couple other check-ins from Berry County tonight as well. I'll mark you down for in and out. Any other in and out check-ins? Call now. Nothing heard, so we're switching over to regular check-ins. Regular check-ins. Call now.
KCA QNR, Randy, Berry County.
Yep, I got you already, Randy. I got you on the first round. Next up. Any regular check-ins for the Midwest Prepper Report Net? Call now. Okay, I guess we got everybody. So we're going to roll up to the top. We've got a little bit of house cleaning to do. We had Mike out of Lake County, KE8EMA, reporting green for Lake County, $3 a dozen eggs. $3 for gas, and eggs were still in short supply in his area. We also had KD8YZV, Mike out of Mecosta County, reporting 10% of the eggs available in the stores in Mecosta County, but he's still giving a green report for Mecosta County. I got a green report out of Myra and Lapeer County, KE8FOQ, and Tony out in Berry County reporting green, KC8 LGE in Berry County as well. So now we're going to roll up to the top of the net. And Leonard, you're in the pole position, 88FK. Leonard, what's the status down in Oakland County this evening?
Well, thank you, Dan. W5 DMH and the Midwest Prepper Report Net. This is Leonard in AD8FK in Massachusetts, Michigan, where it is 29 degrees, quite a drop from our previous temperature report. Otherwise, it's green here. We got fuel and we got groceries. So, thank you, Dan. AD8FK.
88FK from W5DMH. Got a good solid 20 over signal out of Oakland County tonight, Leonard. Thank you for taking a moment to join us and giving us a green report for Oakland County. And that brings us down to John over in Tuscola County in western Tuscola County, WA8ALQ. John, what's the status in your area of Tuscola County this evening?
W5DMH, WA8ALQ, Murphy Lake, western Tuscola County. Went into Vassar this morning for church, and we stopped at the central shop right there. Their eggs were only 25% of what the cases could hold. There was eggs available if you wanted to buy them, but the shelves were mostly bare. And I saw some eggs were $4 a carton, but the eggs were the size of pigeon eggs, and other eggs were as high as over $6 a carton or a dozen. And gas there at the corner there in Vassar was $2.89, and at Sam's Club in Flint it's $2.70 a gallon. I believe I checked it earlier today. Other than that, nobody's going hungry here, so I'm going to call it a condition green for western Tuscola County. And your signal here is nice and clear and loud and clear. You're 10 and 15 over. So doing well tonight, Dan. It's W5DMH, W5DMH, WA8ALQ.
WA8ALQ from W5DMH. Well, I got you at about a 10 over signal tonight, John. Thank you for that green report out of Vassar and Tuscola County area. Appreciate that. Interesting on the eggs. I'll talk about my report when I get to mine, but mine differs a little bit. So thanks again for joining us tonight, John. And we're going to drop down to Lance over in Jackson County, K8 LCS. Lance, what's the status over in Jackson County this evening?
Good evening, everybody on the net. This is Lance, K8 LCS in Jackson County. All quiet here in Jackson County, other than the usual number 6 most violent city in the state of Michigan. The gas prices are around $2.95 for regular, give or take a nickel. And I have not been out to the store in quite a few days, but the egg lady gave us our eggs this week, so we're all good there. So that's the old report I've got. Back to net control, Dan. You sound great. I don't know, 30 odd over, somewhere in between there. And this is KLCS.
KLCS from W5DMH. I got you at 30 over tonight, Lance. Really good signal coming out of Jackson County. Appreciate that green report in the sixth highest crime city of Michigan. Not a status that I would want for my city. Thanks again for joining this evening. And that brings us down to Tim in Berry County, W8 LLC. Tim, what's the status over there in Berry County this evening?
Good evening, Dan, and good evening to everybody on the net. This is Tim, Northern Berry County, W8 LLC. Status is green down here. We're looking at diesel prices around $3.59 and regular unleaded around $2.89. Wife did not report any shortages at the store. She did take a look at the eggs. We've been getting a few on and off now from our chickens that have started to lay a little bit again. But speaking of chickens, I did visit our local TSC and as well as our local Family Farm and Home store yesterday, actually, and did notice quite a shortage on chicks, baby chickens, that is, not the female side. And so I don't know if that's going to be an issue this year. Based on this bird flu that's going on or whatever it is. But I'm in the market for some baby chicks this year, and I'm hoping their stock goes up a little bit. Other than that, we're doing good here in Berry County. I'll turn it back over to you, Dan, W5DMH from W8 LLC.
W8 LLC from W5DMH. Well, I got you at solid 20 over signal out of Berry County there, Tim. Really good signal, good quality audio. Thank you for that green report. That's kind of interesting on the chicks. I've never bought Tractor Supply chicks. When I have gotten chicks, I've ordered them. I think from an outfit over in Pennsylvania. But I've kind of switched over to self-brooding and running chicks that way. Now, when it comes to meat chickens, I'll order meat chickens in, the chicks for meat chickens. But for layers, I'm kind of just rolling over my stock. Keep a rooster on hand, and I got a couple of broody hens, and we'll make it work. That brings us down to Kevin over in Kent County, KEAVN. Kevin, what's the status in Kent County this evening?
KEAVN here. Yeah, status here in Kent County is green. Stores are stocked up pretty much. Gun shops are good. What was it? Gas was $2.97 when I got it last. But other than that, everything looks good here in Kent County. KEAVN, back to net control.
KEAVN, I got you at 40 over tonight, Kevin. Really strong signal coming out of Kent County. Thank you for that green report for Kent County as well. Appreciate that. And that brings us down to Randy, another occupant of Berry County, KCA-QNR. Randy, what's the status in your area of Berry County this evening?
Good evening, Dan, and everyone on the net. I would say it's pretty green. Gas is about $2.90, diesel $3.50, and eggs are available if you got $6 or more. But the stock is pretty light. With that, nice to see the ground again, and I'll turn it back to net control. W5DMH, KCA-QNR. Over.
KCA-QNR from W5DMH. Well, I got you just about a 20 over signal there, Randy. Good solid signal coming out of Berry County as well. That brings us to the bottom of the net, so I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping here. We've got Dave and Sonia on the live chat reporting for Lapeer County as green. Gas was $2.99 earlier this week. I also had somebody on the signal chat. Let me pull that up. Jerry, W8MMC, reporting green in Berry County as well. There must be a lot of ham operators in Berry County. So Jerry's reporting green for Berry County as well, with fuel and fuel prices are stable. And then Bill, K8OB, no net is complete without Bill. And so he managed to check in on Signal tonight. Not going to make the net tonight, guys, but everything's green in Macomb County was his report. And for my report in Lapeer County, I did get out. I was to the store yesterday, and when I went to the store, I was actually not going for food. I was going for paint. But I happened to go buy the eggs, and they were fully stocked for eggs in Mayville. I don't purchase any because I'm fully stocked myself. I'm getting, I don't know, a half a dozen a day these days. So I'm more than happy with what I've got. But stores appear stocked. I didn't pay attention to the fuel prices because I didn't need any fuel. So sorry about that. And that brings us to the bottom of the net. So we're going to throw it out there for any late lagging check-ins. Any late lagging check-ins for the NPR net, call now with your call sign, your county, and your name.
Kilo Echo 8 November Lima Echo Mike Kalamazoo.
KB9 WLC, Tuscola County, this is Paul.
K8LG for a recheck.
All right, so we'll do Tony on a recheck quick. KC8LGE, Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, very brief. I'm kind of had a weekend illness here. I'm pretty sure I don't have the flu, but anyway, I laid down. I started dozing off. I heard you guys talk about Tractor Supply and chicks, and that perked my ears up. I used to keep about 50 yard birds, let them out in the morning, and they graze, and then I got organic food, and I did it all. I did it for about a dozen years, but things have changed. I'm hearing every day on the news about them encouraging people to buy their own chickens to have their own eggs. So the math may not be like it used to be, but I want to just toss this out there for anybody wanting to get in the chicken business. And I sold everything because I said when I turned my back on it, I said, I'm done. I am done. I'll just go buy the eggs. But I sold the eggs and I gave them away, and I learned how to make quiche and a lot of egg dishes. But anyway, what you want to do if you go to Tractor Supply, you want to go Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, or Monday mornings. They wholesale them, and if they're like $1.29 or whatever a chick, you can get them for about 49 cents. I used to get the barred rocks, and they're so tiny, and I'd walk out with like 30 or 40 of them, but they grow up real big real fast. So then you really got an issue there. But yeah, go in on Sunday or Mondays. If they still have them, then it's a gamble. And usually you can call the Tractor Supply. I live in Berry County, but I'm equal distance to Hastings, Tractor Supply, and Ionia. And they'll usually give you the price over the phone. But yeah, that's the time to buy them because the birds always come in on Wednesday. So anybody wants to go raise their own chicks, just let them know that. And these are pullets. I'm talking about pullets. You know, you get even if you get the mixed ones where you take your own chances, you might have roosters that are even cheaper. I just wanted to let everybody know that. KC8LGE, back to net control.
KC8LGE from W5DMH. Well, thanks for that update, Tony. Appreciate that. And that brings us down to KE8NLE, Mike out of Kalamazoo County. Mike, what's the status out in Kalamazoo County this evening?
Good evening, Dan, and everybody else on the net. Status here is green in Kalamazoo here. Was out today, didn't buy any gas, but I've seen that gasoline was around $2.84, $2.89, depending on where I looked. And diesel, where I usually get it, hadn't changed at $3.49. And so that's pretty standard by what I've been hearing here on the net tonight. As far as getting out in the grocery store, I was pretty lucky. The store here locally had eggs for $3.99 the last couple weeks a dozen. But they've been sold out of those now for a little bit, and so they're back up to about $5.69 or $5.89, depending on the brand, even maybe a little bit more than that. And I have a comment, too, on the chickens. I was in Tractor Supply today, getting some stuff for tapping trees. I tapped a few walnut trees today to make some walnut syrup. And I seen that the Tractor Supply here on Gull Road in Kalamazoo, on the east side of Kalamazoo here, did have plenty of chickens. It looked like, I don't know how many they normally have, but all their little bins were full, and there was a little swarm of people there buying them. So maybe give Tractor Supply here in Kalamazoo a call. They might have a few more than over there in Berry Berry County if you need there, Mr. LLC. So this is KE8 NLE, back to net.
KE8 NLE from W5DMH, solid 20 over signal out of Kalamazoo County tonight. Thanks for joining, Mike, and appreciate that green report and the additional information for Tractor Supply. And that takes us down to Paul over in Tuscola County, KB9WLC. Paul, what have you got for a status in it'd be eastern Tuscola County, western Sanilac County?
This is KB9WLC to net. Well, I'll have to give it a green for eastern Tuscola and western Sanilac, and also is up in southern Huron County too, and I think everything's green. The only thing I couldn't find in the stores was Brazil nuts, which I don't know, maybe they're not available this time of year, but I had a hankering to get some. I couldn't find any anywhere. But as far as everything else, it looks pretty normal to me. Gas prices are still $3 a gallon plus or minus a dime or so. And that's about it from here. I'll give it all a green. KB9WLC back to W5DMH in the net.
KB9WLC from W5DMH. Well, I got you at about 15 over tonight, Paul. A little hotter than normal. Good solid audio coming out of Tuscola County, and thanks for taking the time to join us and give us a 3-county report. I think you're the only one that's given us a 3-county report in a long time. So Huron, Tuscola, and Sanilac counties all reporting green. And that brings us to the bottom of the net for round 1, and we're going to run up to the top for round 2. We've got 88FK Leonard in Oakland County. Leonard, do you have anything additional for the net this evening?
So, do you want to give your report there, Dan?
Yeah, I thought I did before I gave the other ones, but maybe not. I'm going to call Lapeer County green. I went to the store yesterday and did see eggs on the shelf at my store, and no store shelves missing anything. Didn't check fuel prices because I didn't need any fuel, and that was my report. So you have anything additional for the net tonight, Leonard?
Not really. I'd like to check DC and see how things, status of DC is. little humor there. But anyway, we'll look forward to hearing you again next week, Dan. 88FK, back to you.
88FK from W5DMH. Yep, we'll be here 7 p.m. next Sunday, just like every other Sunday. So thanks again for joining tonight, Leonard. We're going to drop down to John in Tuscola County, WA8ALQ. John, anything additional for the net tonight?
W5DMH, WA8ALQ. Well, when you stood by there a little bit ago for other check-ins, late check-ins, I could have swore I heard a station from Puerto Rico. He was weak, but he gave you a call, and I guess you didn't hear him. I don't know if anybody else did. Maybe I was hearing things, but I could have swore he said Puerto Rico. And I have nothing else. So, 7-3, W5DMH, WA8ALQ, Murphy Lake.
WA8ALQ. Well, we'll throw it out there one more time. Is there a station out there in Puerto Rico trying to do a check-in to the NPR net? Call now. I'm not hearing anything, so we're going to keep going and running down the list. That brings us down to Lance in Jackson County, K8LCS. Lance, anything additional for the net this evening?
No, sir, all is quiet here, and you are peaking up around 40 over, so everybody's got a good signal tonight. 73 to everybody, and we'll catch up with you next weekend. This is K8LCS Lance in Jackson County, clear.
K8LCS from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining tonight, Lance. We appreciate seeing you every Sunday, so hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday. And that brings us down to Tim out in Berry County, W8LLC. Tim, what's the status? We already know the status in Berry County. We've heard it from like 5 guys in Berry County. Tim, do you have anything additional for the net tonight?
Talking's hard, I know. Nothing additional for me. Mike, I did hear your report on TSC, and I'll keep that, I'll take that in consideration. And Tony, if you're still listening, I heard your advice as well. That's it for me tonight. Everybody, 7-3. Hope you have a great week. Stay safe out there. W5DMH from W8LLC.
W8LLC from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining tonight, Tim. Appreciate that. And that brings us down to Kevin out in Kent County, KE8VN. Kevin, anything additional for the net this evening?
KE8VM here. No, nothing additional for the net. Thanks for taking the net again, and I hope everybody has a great week. And with that, I'll turn it back to net control. KE8VM. Strong signal here from you too.
Well, thank you, Kevin. KE8VN from W5DMH. Thanks again for joining tonight, Kevin. We appreciate that. And that brings us down to Randy, another Berry County resident, KCAQNR. Randy, anything additional for the net this evening?
I guess nothing else. I got you about 20 over. Hope everybody has a good week, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody here next weekend. So with that, hand it back to you, W5DMH, KC8QNR. Over.
KC8QNR from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining tonight, Randy. We appreciate that. And we're going to roll down to KE8NLE, Mike in Kalamazoo County. You got anything additional for the net tonight, Mike?
One more time, I'll just say I'm hearing everybody really, really good tonight. The signals are real strong. Dan, you're up here around 30 over into Kalamazoo tonight, so everything sounds real good. And really good copy on everybody. No additional traffic. KE8NLE.
KE8NLE from W5DMH. Yeah, rocking signal coming out of Kalamazoo County as usual. Solid 20-25 over. And appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight, Mike. And that brings us down to, last but not least, Paul in Tuscola County, KB9WLC. Paul, anything additional for the net this evening?
KB9WLC. Nope, nothing additional here. Everybody have a good evening, and I'll be clear back to W5DMH and the net.
Well, that brings us to the bottom of the net. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. This is W5DMH, and I am going to return the frequency back to its previous use, call the ball, and I will be clear upon your finals. Thanks to everybody for joining on both the live chat and on the air. So enjoy the rest of your evening.
W8RUR.
W8RUR, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Just got the tail end of your announcement. I'm going to write it down. Excuse me. What net is this?
This is the MPR net, the Midwest Prepper Report net.
All right. What time does that start?
7 p.m. every Sunday night on this frequency.
All right. Well, very good. We'll try to keep it in mind then. Appreciate it. W8RUR clear.
Thank you very much. And I will be clear upon everybody else's finals. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Dan. This is AD8FK 73.